We have three files to address this morning regarding Elizabeth May Conway. File number 24847 alleges on or about March 12th that you stole property that belonged to Walmart worth more than $200. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $2,000. And the allegation was that you took merchandise, is the right case, and put it in your cart. There's video of it. The next case is 24843SM, another retail fraud at Walmart. They allege that you stole $284 worth of property and took it from the store. They charged that as also retail fraud in the second degree, which is punishable by up to a year in jail. The third count is March 18th. They allege you were at the Walmart store and that you stole, I think, a mattress that was worth more than $200. And that's also charged as a retail fraud in the third degree. That's also on video. You had missed some court dates. There was a bench warrant for your arrest. You got arrested in August, and I had you placed in custody and set the matter for pretrials today on all three cases. I understand there's some other things going on here. First of all, Mr. Truckee, was there a plea offer in this case?
There was an offer to 2 counts of second degree retail fraud or 1 count of first degree.
Which would be a felony.
Correct.
Plea offer, 2 counts retail fraud, second, which would be concurrent, or 1 count.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're going to dive into a tense courtroom session involving Elizabeth May Coney, facing multiple retail fraud charges. The judge lays out the first allegations, stealing property from Walmart on 3 separate occasions, with videos backing each claim. The potential penalties are steep, with jail time and fines looming. The atmosphere is immediately tense as the legal stakes and prior missed court dates come into sharp focus.
Retail fraud first, felony. All right, Ms. Conway, I understand that you're not happy with Mr. Truckee as your attorney.
Not necessarily, because I gave him documents when you sent him to the jail. I was in the hospital on the second in the middle of the month.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I gave him documents when he sent him over to the jail, because I was in the hospital on the second and in the middle of the month of August. So I wouldn't have failed to appear otherwise.
All right.
So,
but
his job is for you to do an emergency PR bond.
Yes,
He didn't
and
do none of it. I said in the
well,
jail, getting
he could have
in the jail.
jumped up and down and screamed and yelled and pleaded on his knees for a PR bond, and I wouldn't have given you one.
Okay.
You have a history of not showing up. You got multiple addresses, a Sturgis address. I don't even know where you are. So I wasn't going to give you a PR bond. You have $1,204 of unpaid other fines and costs, including an open a drinking driving case, another retail fraud, 2 disturbing the pieces, and allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code. You are a mess, and I'm watching you disintegrate before my eyes. I first met you in 2022 or so.
The judge details Coney's troubled history and misappearances, explaining why a PR bond was denied. Observing as a third party, it's clear the tension escalates as the courtroom delves into her past fines, multiple addresses, and prior offenses. The judge paints a vivid picture of a life spiraling out of control, combining legal consequences with personal commentary on her deteriorating situation. This section sets a gripping backdrop for her current legal
22
troubles.
or so. And when you came here from the east side, and
I
you
grew up
met,
here actually with my mom, the Bingaman family. That's my mom.
or I guess you told me that
Yes,
before,
and
but
I was raised with a split family, Conway Bingamans. So, yeah, I've been growing up on each side,
all right,
Constantine and the east side. So, but I don't appreciate insult because that's the first time I met you was in 2022. Remember I had a baby?
yes.
Yes, I was 6 months
Well, I'm
pregnant.
not trying to be
Same
unkind.
kind of circumstances going on right now, except for your jail staff. I just had to write a statement to the police on.
All right, but
Okay.
you
And I'm
are,
also a victim of this county right now. The state trooper Bauer is on.
well, you are killing yourself.
No, they're trying to, not
Well,
me
all
counting.
right, well, let's back up to these 3 retail fraud charges. They've offered to dismiss one of them if you plead to 2 of them. You've got 28 days in jail. You've got previous fines and costs that you don't have the ability to pay on. I don't know where your address is. All 3 of these things are on video. They recognize you every time you come in the store. On one of them, you allegedly stole a mattress and they found the mattress. So it's not Mr. Truckey's fault that you couldn't get out on a PR bond. That was on me. You're entitled to a PR bond in a misdemeanor case after 28 days. You've been in jail for 28 days.
Here, the judge navigates potential plea offers, emphasizing the video evidence and Coney's financial incapacity. As an observer, one sees a delicate balance between enforcing the law and offering resolution. The judge explains the consequences of pleading guilty versus not guilty, highlighting the legal strategy at play. The audience witnesses a suspenseful moment as Coney must decide how to respond. Knowing her choice could determine whether she remains in custody or faces extended consequences.
So here's where we are. The irony of this, if you plead not guilty, I have no choice but to let you out of jail. I'm afraid, A, that you'll go into the wind again, and B, that you'll get in more trouble. But if you plead guilty to these charges, I'm going to set everything for sentencing and try to take care of your other cases. What would you like to do here today?
I'd like to be out of jail.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Where will you go?
Probably to a hotel room likely.
Well, why did you tell the police you lived in Goodrich or you lived in
I never told them
Pontiac?
I lived in Goodrich. They don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. I lived in Goodrich like 5 years ago. Like 6 years, when they were delivering me a subpoena for a Jacob Ryder Turner. They wanted to know where I lived. I lived out in Goodrich then. That was a long time ago. My daughter is almost 2 now. That was a long time ago. I haven't lived in Goodrich in a long time. That's when I moved out of White Pigeon. Remember when I lived in White Pigeon? And
Yes.
I got a disturbing the peace charge and I missed court for that, so I was quite guilty, got out on a PR, or no, whatever it was.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you went out of jail, and I guess I don't have any choice in the matter. But I'm not gonna let you fire your lawyer, because it's not his fault. He's here to represent you on all of these.
Coney
No.
begins responding, revealing confusion over past addresses and court appearances. Watching externally, her uncertainty compounds attention. The judge patiently unpacks the prior misdemeanors and PR bond rules, while Coney struggles to articulate her history. The dialogue underscores a suspenseful courtroom dynamic, the intersection of procedural law, human error, and the looming threat of additional charges. Every word seems to carry weight for her future.
Now, what the prosecutor may do, I'm not sure, is turn these into a felony. But right now they're misdemeanors and there's a misdemeanor offer. As I said, you're on video in each case, according to the affidavits of probable cause. So at this point, you wish to continue your plea of not guilty?
yeah.
All right. I do not release Attorney Truckee. He's doing fine here. I have to set a PR bond in each case, whether I like it or not. Actually, I could, for good cause shown, leave you in custody, which would be all these other unpaid fines and costs. But, and even the fact that you habitually don't show up when you're supposed to. There is a escape valve on the 28-day bond rule if the judge finds good cause to leave the bond.
I know when I get out today, I got money I could pay and come right before.
Well, I don't want you to do any of that yet. I want you to hold on to your money. I want you to find a place to live.
Right.
But let me just be frank, there is jail in your future. You've got 3 of these retail fraud charges. They're trying, if you want a trial on each one of them, I guess you can have a trial on each one of them.
The judge reinforces illegal limits and predicts potential complications, including escalating misdemeanor charges to felonies. As a third-party observer, it's evident this is a pivotal moment. Coney is facing a web of legal decisions with serious implications. The court outlines her right to a PR bond after 28 days, while also acknowledging her precarious life situation. The tension peaks as the courtroom braces for how she will navigate the next
trial on each
steps.
one of them. They're each punishable by up to a year in jail. If you do that, the prosecutor is probably going to turn it into a felony. If they're we're going to try these, we might as well try just one. But at this point, we'll set a last pre-trial and maybe we can resolve it at that time. What I would really like to do is when I do a sentence, resolve all this other stuff. The drinking driving case, allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code, those 2 disturbing the pieces that I let you out of jail, the disorderly person I let you out of jail, the retail fraud from earlier this year, $270. You don't have any money.
Yeah, I paid for I bond out in June. In June, I got a bondsmith, so I paid the guy back for the bondsmith.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you out of jail on all 3 cases and set these for a last pretrial.
Okay.
My prediction is something else is gonna go haywire before I see you next time, but I'm hopeful that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because right now, you don't even know where you're going. A hotel, that's not a good option.
Working on right now with county is.
But the law says on a misdemeanor case, unless your case is resolved, you have a right to have a PR bond after 28 days, whether I like it or not. So you got a $200 PR bond in each case. You're barred from Walmart.
Now, Coney's past fines and other legal cases are brought to light, creating a layered legal drama. From an external perspective, the judge's statements reveal the cumulative weight of repeated offenses and unpaid costs. Coney is advised on the next procedural steps, the potential for jail time, and the importance of complying with court requirements. This section combines suspense with a clear picture of the stakes for both the defendant and the court.
Walmart. If you go back in the Walmart store, 3 Rivers or Sturgis, I'll put you back in jail with no bond.
I don't go over there anyways, but it's still an illegal trespass, so you're charged with it. If I want to be specifically honest, but I don't go back there just because I was disturbed trespass.
Well, it's a condition of your bond.
When they did meet me in person, it was to do a welfare check on me.
Well, you
My
probably
cousin
could
Christopher
use a
works there.
welfare check.
I got Christopher being on work at Walmart. So I'm assuming that I was doing weird stuff in my ear because I got close injury.
Yes, I'm concerned about
Okay, yeah, I
you.
understand that. I'm not going. Yeah, you're good.
Will
I haven't
you-
been back anyway.
Will you get reconnected with Pivotal when you get out?
I don't know what Pivotal is.
It's community mental health.
I've never been there out here in the
I thought-
county. No, the only
Yeah,
time I
it's-
went there was like 8, 10 years ago. They gave me Adderall a long time ago, and that was it. I don't go to mental health.
Have you talked to
I got a neurologist. Lisa only talked to just in case I needed to go to a domestic violence shelter or a sexual assault center. That's the only lady I only talked to her briefly for that, but I know my number to call if I need it. But no, when I tried to circle out a couple times and very ignored me, so I was like, I'm about to take these people's jobs out, so I'm gonna just. I was like, yeah.
Elizabeth, I'm very concerned about you.
Yeah,
I know that
right.
you're drug-free because I've had you in jail for 28 days.
Well, you already
But-
know that anyways, remember when he apologized to me and I pled guilty a couple of years ago? Cause he thought I was on meth or something when I was on dextroamphetamine, which is Adderall.
Well, you were on other
But it wasn't on
amphetamines,
anything, no, I wasn't.
but I'm just concerned about how your demeanor is right now.
I don't feel good, I've been getting in there, that's why I was like, not happy with the way the people were treating me in there. In the jail staff and stuff, because you're not supposed to do stuff like that to pregnant people, I don't think.
Attention shifts to Coney's personal situation, including potential housing and mental health support. Observing as a narrator, it's striking how the courtroom blends legal enforcement with concern for her well-being. The judge's remarks highlight the human side of legal proceedings as he questions her support network, previous treatment, and current mindset. The suspense remains high as her future depends on both compliance and available
I don't
resources.
think.
All right, I don't have to like this, and I don't, but you're gonna get out on a PR bond. They're gonna take you back to jail, probably give you lunch, and you're gonna be standing on the front steps of the jail.
That's all right. I'll call my mom's cousin, my other cousin lives in Centerville. Do you know who Todd Baum is?
It's a PR bond.
Yeah, no, I said Todd Baum and then live in Centerville. I think I could call, have my mom call them to give me a ride if I need it.
All right. I will
That's the
see you
same
on, I
person.
want you to stay in contact with your lawyer so he knows how to get a hold of you. We're gonna end up with more
No, I
bench
have a new
warrants.
phone, like, the other phone got stolen.
All right, you're good to go.
Together.
Carl, who else do you have back?
Finally, the judge grants a PR bond and outlines conditions for release, ending the 10th session on a note of cautious resolution. From an observer's perspective, the courtroom drama resolved for now, but with looming uncertainty about Coney's next moves. The commentary closes a loop. Legal accountability meets personal circumstance, leaving viewers with sense of suspense about what comes next.